All right.
All right, ready?
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Like we said before, we had a beer during lunch and we already filmed one episode, and I'm already ready to sleep. This is gonna be so great.
You're such an OG, son.
I am no. So here's the thing, right? So I have so many drunk experiences where I killed the vibe because I fell asleep. Like I have, and some of them I can't talk about on this channel, but
Yeah.
it was just so funny how there's so many times when I just killed everything by sleeping because of alcohol.
Dude, I get it. I get it. I'll tell you, 2 strong 9s is enough to put me to sleep. Yeah, I'm literally like that. If I have 2, if I go to the convenience and it's like after work or something, I get 2 strong 9,
Dude.
or the strong 9%. That's what I mean by that.
I just gotta tell you, so
Yeah.
So I have a friend, we'll call him Jeff.
Okay.
I have another friend named Jeff, but this is not my actual friend Jeff. This is a different friend named Jeff. I just picked Jeff.
Sure.
But anyways, so the Jeff who lives in Japan, he's a huge party animal.
Yeah.
And I would always regret hanging out with him because I get so hungover the next day and I couldn't focus on my work. So I remember going out with him one time. I was like, hey, dude, I like hanging out with you. You're great, but I always get so trashed. So let's try to keep it under control this time. I was like, yeah, sure, no worries. So we go and we get beers.
Yeah.
And then I actually had to do a call with one of my students afterwards. And that was fine. After a couple of beers, I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
But then I go to a cafe, do my call, and then when I come out, he's there with 2 strong 9s.
There it is.
And then I pretty soon forgot what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to be able to just drink that like water.
Yeah.
Like when I first came here, first came to Japan when I was 27.
Yeah.
And I could drink those all night.
Yeah, right.
It's like I remember going to like Hachiko,
Yeah,
in Shibuya, and you go to the convenience there, and
yeah,
you just come out with 4 cans and down those cans
and just hang out. Yeah,
go in, get another 4 cans. You know what I mean?
I remember those days.
And now it's like,
Yeah,
oh, dude, 2 cans,
I know.
and I'm sitting on a couch,
Yeah.
like full on snoozing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So since we're now old geezers,
Yeah.
and we can't hold our alcohol anymore, let's talk about the things we find strange in Japan strange in the States after living in Japan so long. And a part of this I'm starting to think might be because we've just gone older. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think. What's the first thing that comes to mind for you?
The first thing that comes to mind is probably like come back to me on that.
So there's nothing coming to your mind.
No.
So-
I did, but it escaped between the time for the episode.
Okay, never
Right.
mind. So the first thing that comes to my mind is when you're in your house and there's a car coming by your house and you start to because they have their windows down and they're blasting the music so loud.
So here's the thing. You say that's an American thing. I have to deal with that every freaking day in Fujisawa.
The music?
Every day.
So
It drives me insane.
So I used to live near a semi-busy road.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would hear the of like the motorbikes going by, but not the music.
Motorcyclists are such a big problem in Shonan.
Yeah.
People just love driving down residential streets
Yeah.
and revving. And I'm talking like 2 a.m. It drives me insane.
I know. But people play music too?
Yeah. Dude, Shonan, I cannot express how American influenced Shonan is.
Yeah. Well, that's because Shonan's like America. That's why.
Yeah. Like, you will see, I'm straight up saying, like, those like lowrider, like hydraulic cars with like the underlights and
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Like you see in like LA, dude, those are everywhere.
Dude,
Shonan.
I gotta ask you though. So how do you feel about like those? Because in a sense, it's cosplaying. Because it's not. They didn't grow up.
It's
that
cultural appropriation, man.
Well, I don't want. So cultural appropriation has a huge thing to it. No, but what I just mean is like people are doing that not because that's part of their culture, but because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that make you feel?
I feel like they just have a really bad idea what's cool. That's how I feel.
Dude, have you ever seen? So
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be talking about things that are weird in America, but have you ever seen someone on the train or whatever with like a perfect hip hop outfit? Like the cap is bent the perfect way and twisted the right way, and they wear the clothes right.
It's a uniform.
And what's funny is, it always strikes me so strange because everything is so clean and it's so perfect,
dude. The thing that cracks me up is like you see that here, but what is really funny because you'll see somebody dressing up like in like hip hop or rap style clothes in the US. There's tags on everything.
Yeah,
that's because in kind of like rap or like kind of like hip hop black culture, showing off how much something costs is a big deal.
Right.
So you keep the tags on it. So like, oh look, this costs $70.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing, right? But that hasn't translated over here.
Right.
So you never see any of the tags on it.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I've kind of regained my focus on talking about like this weird American stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I find really obnoxious in the US is people walking their dogs.
Why? People walk their dogs here too.
No, but it's different though, because people just let their dogs poop everywhere in the US. And so if you live in a neighborhood in the US, you're constantly walking around and you'll just see dog poop places.
Yeah.
Right?
And what's funny is, this kind of goes back to the trash can thing too, but they like in areas where people walk their dogs, they'll have little stands where there'll be like a poop pouch that you can take out to like clean up after your dog, and they don't do it.
No, they don't. And I didn't really realize it until it wasn't the last time I went back, but it was like a couple years ago when I went back to the US, and I stepped in dog poop.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done that in like years.
Yeah.
You can't really step in dog poop when you're in Japan. You just don't really see it that much, right? Yeah. But I stepped in dog poop and it just ruined my day. I was so angry about it. I was like, God, what the fuck, man? Why is there dog poop here? And then it's like, it dawned on me as like, oh no, you see this everywhere. Yeah. Dog poop is everywhere and it's gross.
I will tell you though, dude. So where I live, and I live in kind of like a well-to-do area, and you know that because a lot of people have fairly large dogs.
Yeah.
And recently, it's not very often.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see dog poop.
Right?
And
I'm telling you.
But it's in Japan where I live in Yokohama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but the difference was like, if I go see dog poop in America, it's like, oh yeah, there's dog poop. It's always there.
Yeah.
But then I saw this and it just didn't compute. It's like, I shouldn't be seeing this. This is so weird. Why is this here?
Yeah.
You know? And there's a few people that it could be, but like, it was kind of a big deal. Whereas
narrowing down which neighbor it is.
I have an idea of a couple people who it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was around the park where a lot of people go. But still, like in America, it's just being dirty is like a part of life.
Yeah, it's really crazy how okay you are as an American with everything just kind of not being clean and there just being garbage everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't think about it until I moved here. And then you go back to America, it's like, why is there trash everywhere?
Yeah.
Why is it okay? Well, it's not okay because there's littering laws in the US. And I have always hated littering.
Yeah.
It's always been something, like, I'll give you a personal example. I was on a road trip with a buddy of mine, and we were college kids, and I'm going to say something on the channel that's not good. Like, we cracked open a couple beers on the road trip, right?
Oh man, I'm going to send the police after you.
I know, right?
Retroactively 10 years.
Seriously. It's probably longer than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, we crack open a couple beers. It's just one. It's not like we're drinking. Well, we were drinking and driving, but you get the idea.
It's okay. Keep on going.
And so anyways, we're driving down to California from Seattle, right? And I finished my beer and I put it down, and my buddy finishes his beer and he just throws it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Why did you just do that? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? I'm done with it. Like, I don't want like an empty beer bottle being in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if we get pulled over? I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't even know what to do with you right now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So like littering has always bothered me.
Yeah.
But it's so common. Like I'll tell you something that you always see in the US is like somebody smoking and then just take their cigarette and just flick it on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. And you just see garbage everywhere in the US. And
Yeah, and I mean, when you get out of the city area where there's fewer eyes on the sidewalks or whatever, you start to see more trash, but it's still a lot less here than it is in the state.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's funny when you talk about littering because, so my grandfather owned a seafood restaurant called Bob's Fried Clams, and his name was not Bob, but he owned a restaurant called Bob's Fried Clams.
Yeah.
And my dad used to work there during the summers. Hated it so much because this was back in the like 60s and 70s when like drive-thrus were new. Okay. And so what people would do is they would get
get in the car and go to a drive-thru. We'll go to a drive-in movie afterwards.
Yeah. And
some milkshake.
They would get the food delivered to their car, and they would eat the food in their
Sonic.
Yeah, right. And then they would eat the food in their car, and they had a tray that they would eat on their car. And then when they were done, they'd roll down the window, put out the tray, and just drop it on the side, and they'd drive away. Yeah. And my dad had to clean it up. That's why he hated working there. But that was
I would hate that job too.
Yeah. And so like littering is not so bad in America like it used to be, but still you see trash a lot of places. One thing though that just like drives me crazy whenever I go back to the States and I go to a supermarket or a clothing store is people will take an item and then they realize they don't need it and they'll put it on the shelf in a completely unrelated area. So like they put the tomato cans in the cereal aisle or something, not because like they didn't know where the tomato cans were, but just because they were there when they realized they don't want it anymore. They just put it down.
Yeah, it's like,
and I worked at a clothing store growing up in college and then in high school, and my job was to put the clothes back that people would just drop on the floor or put on top of the racks or something. That was my job.
Yeah, man, it's. Like I think people being inconsiderate is a very common thing in the US. One thing that really drives me up a wall. I guess this episode's kind of changed into things that piss me off about America.
Well, these things we think are strange, we don't understand. What pisses us off?
I get really frustrated about this, having lived in Japan for a long time, is going on an escalator in the US and people just stand in the center of the escalator and I'm just like, move, go up the escalator, stand on the other side, just go, why are you in the center? Like, because here in Japan, it's like, okay, for whatever reason, Kansai and Tokyo are the opposite.
It's Osaka and Tokyo.
I've had it explained to me. I do not think it makes any sense. It is a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's opposite. But still,
you pick a side.
And if you want to stand, you stand to the side. Or if you want to move up, you go.
Yeah.
That is a great system.
Yeah.
That is so efficient.
Yeah.
It helps both people. It's like, hey, I'm tired. I don't want to move. I'm old or disabled or something. You have your area. Or I got to go. I need to be at a place. Get out of my way. You have your lane.
Yeah.
But then you get these stupid, ignorant people.
And they just stand right in the middle. Oh my God. Sometimes they hold both sides. Sometimes they hold both sides.
Oh my God. It makes me want to rip my hair out, man.
Yeah. And the thing is in Japan, right? So if you're on the right side, which is the walking lane, and you're standing, and someone starts walking up, they'll move. Yeah, 90% of the time. They'll move.
So great.
But in America, they're like, no, I was here first. This is my spot. You know?
Oh my God, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like there's that. There's also like traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic drives me up a wall in America. And it's kind of funny because I have my own problems with traffic here in Japan. I think people drive way too slow here.
Yeah.
It drives me insane. Like we'll be on a road trip and we'll be going like 50 kilometers an hour. And I'm just like, could go 70.
Yeah.
I'd like to be here in less than an hour.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's like people drive really slowly here. But in the US, it's just like, all right, well, I'm not going to signal. Here goes 3 lanes, like that kind of thing.
Dude, I gotta take you to Boston, man, because I remember when I went to Seattle, I thought, well, maybe you're thinking about California. I've never driven in California, but in Seattle, when I went there, I was thinking, man, everyone drives so nicely here.
Yeah, no. So it's funny because Japan has specific treaties with states, not the United States. There's specific states that Japan has treaties with that if you come over here, you can just get a driver's license because like, well, if you can survive in this state, like you're obviously a pretty good driver, right? And Washington's one of them. Yeah, because Washington typically has good drivers, but you go to California, and it's like the laws of the jungle down there. Man. Yeah, like you'll be going bumper to bumper traffic. It'll be 80 miles an hour. Nobody even knows what a turn signal is. Yeah, and then you get the famous saying, "The California stop." Yeah, which for those of you who are not American, basically, so stop signs, just like we have here in Japan. The law is you're supposed to stop. Yeah, because it's a stop sign. Well, in California, you just slow down. Yeah. You don't stop. You just slow down and kind of go, oh, we're okay. And then you just go. It's, oh, God.
Dude, that sounds a lot like Massachusetts. Like I remember one time we were driving to Hampton Beach, which was kind of on the north side. Yeah. I think maybe that's in New Hampshire or whatever. Yeah. But it's this resort town. And so my dad's driving. We're going by. We're in the left lane. Yeah. And someone is going in like the emergency lane and just right past us. And like we thought he was going to hit us, but he went into the emergency lane and just passed by us, you know?
I had the greatest feeling of vindication when I was living down in California because there was the exact scenario that you're explaining. Yeah. And it was bumper to bumper traffic in LA, which is like, that's just normal LA traffic, right? And this person aggressively drove out onto the emergency lane, just floored it, and they were in a Mustang. Yeah, right. Like, it's always a Mustang.
It's always a Mustang,
right? And they're just flooring it down, and then 40 minutes later, I'm finally getting up, and I get about 2 miles because it takes about 40 minutes for every 2 miles in LA traffic. And you just see them stopped over, and they're just sitting in their car with a police car right behind them, and the guy's obviously getting a ticket.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just like,
good job.
Oh, I'm so glad that happened to you.
Yeah, right.
Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot.
Yeah. So for each episode, you'll get English and Japanese subtitles, so you can check your listening and comprehension.
You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not. For more info, click on the link here, or in the description box of this video.
Thanks for being our friend.
Woo!
I have no friends. Yeah, driving, man. Really, like, America is really is really a land where everyone's kind of out for themselves and they just kind of do whatever's expedient for them. But another thing that's really seems strange to me, stranger the more I live here, is tipping.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of American viewers on our channel, but if we did, I never tip, and I will never tip.
Even in the States?
Even in the States. No,
what?
No, I don't tip.
Since when?
Since always. I don't tip. I hate tipping.
You never tip?
Nope.
Dude, okay. One time I forgot to tip my waitress and she stopped me at the entrance of the store. Yep. And then what do you do then?
I just tell them I don't tip. It's not my job to tip. Like, if you want me to pay it, put it in the receipt. I'm not going to pay a tip.
Okay. I thought we were going to complain about tipping a little bit. I didn't know you'd go that far.
No, I vehemently will not tip because I am so against it. It's like, you get these people who are like, well, I need it to support my job. You know what? That's not my problem. Get a better job. Like, I hate tipping. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I understand that, you know? Yeah. I used to work in a restaurant and I worked a tipped wage and I made good money and stuff. But like, the way that I saw it was that tipping was supposed to encourage people to give you good service. But then I come to Japan and everyone gives you great service.
It's not even a Japan thing, too.
Yeah.
It's like the rest of the world, this is just how the service industry is. And the reason for that is because if you're a waiter here in Japan, you make an okay salary.
Yeah.
Right? You're paid a salary
At
that's
least
like
minimum wage.
it's decent, right? But in America, in the 1930s, this is when tipping started.
Yeah.
In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, restaurants could not afford to pay their staff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they invented tipping as a way for the customer to kind of support the waiter's income so the restaurant didn't have to fire the waiter.
Yeah.
That is the entire history of waiting. And for whatever reason, that just never went away.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so funny though, because every once in a while I go on X and I see someone talking about tipping.
Yeah.
Like there's this one. So Indians have a reputation of being horrible tippers, and there was this one Indian guy talking about how he doesn't like tipping and he thinks it's outrageous.
Yeah.
And then so many people in the comments were like, if you can't afford to tip, don't go out.
See, that's the problem that I have.
Yeah.
It's like people think of it as like an economics. I could be a multi-billionaire. I still would never tip.
Yeah.
And the reason why is like, here's the thing. Like, yeah, some restaurants split their tip with the kitchen staff. Some of them do, but they don't tell the customer that.
Mhm.
I don't know if this restaurant's doing it or not. Most of the time, the tip just goes to the waiter.
Yeah.
Right? And what is the waiter really doing? They're bringing the food 20 feet over to my table.
Yeah.
Okay? The chef is responsible for the food to taste good.
Yeah.
The restaurant manager is responsible for the restaurant to look nice.
Mhm.
The waiter's just bringing a food 20 feet over.
Yeah.
And not messing up my order.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not giving a tip on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's where I stand on that.
For me, like, so the way that I see it, right, is because there have been times when I've given larger tips to waiters or waitresses when I feel like they've done a really good job because they make me feel good, you know, because they bring that human touch. But nowadays, it's taken for granted.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you didn't tip me, you piece of shit.
No, and not only is it taken for granted, but the maximum gratuity is taken for granted.
Yeah, right.
So it used to be 10% if you did kind of bad service or like terrible. To like worst, I hate this place is 0% tip.
Yeah.
Right? 10% is like
okay.
Oh,
and
you did okay.
15% is when it was really good.
15% was this was an average experience. And then 20% it's like, damn, you did a good job. Now it's like 20%
minimum. Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't get it, you know? Like, we talked about this in another episode, but even in supermarkets, they have, like, tip screens.
They have it everywhere now, man. There was supermarkets.
Mhm.
I've seen it in, I don't think it was actually Starbucks, but it was a coffee stand that you often see.
Mhm.
You see it. There's a couple retail stores that I've seen it in now.
Yeah.
Was it Macy's? It was like one of the big name brand retail stores we were in recently.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can give a tip to the person that's like helping you pick out clothes, and it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I do think that like having a tipping culture where it is optional, if you want to give out the goodness of your heart, I think that's a good thing. Where it's not really expected. Like in Japan, though, if you give money to someone, they freak out and they don't know what to do. You have to give them non-monetary gifts. Whereas like in the States, it's like, okay, I know you're working really hard. Maybe you're down and you're like here's an extra 20 or something like that.
I'm not opposed to like handouts for somebody who like goes above and beyond. But like that, for me, that situation needs to be like, look, I'm a generous person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say I'm stingy by saying that I'm against tipping.
You're like morally opposed to
I'm morally opposed to it. Like, I'm not opposed to like, if somebody goes above and beyond to like really help me and make my experience good, like, of course I want to compensate them for that. But like, my problem is the arrogance.
Yeah. There's a great word, entitlement.
Entitlement. There we go. That's the word. The entitlement behind tipping is what drives me insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really turned me off too. Like that's like I would prefer to just make food at my house because I don't want to have to go, because in the States right now, so eating out is super expensive.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have tip. Like, so near our house, there's a really good like American place, right?
Yeah.
And when we got the bill,
Yeah.
it was like 8,000 yen or something like that. In America, for the same food, it probably would have been like 150,000 yen.
Yes.
Or no, not 150,000. Is it ichimango sen? It was going to be, 15,000 yen.
15,000.
8,000, 50,000.
Yeah. I got what you meant.
I'm sorry. I don't want to confuse our viewers.
Yeah.
And so 15,000 yen. And then on top of that, you have to pay tip. So it's going to be another.
There's another unspoken rule.
Yeah.
Where if you go for like a large group of people, like a big family, it's instant maximum gratuity.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Yeah.
So
I just
there's some strange things. Like some other things that I find really strange in America is this is not so much of a negative thing, but one of the things that just kind of confuses me is like the emphasis on putting sugar in everything.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so I would actually say there's no emphasis on putting sugar in everything, but they put sugar in everything.
Well, yeah,
because sugar's seen as like evil in the States.
But it's just everywhere, man. Like I'll give you an example. Is like you see a lot of people drinking black coffee here in Japan.
Yeah.
But when I go back to the US, there's a lot of people who have like flavored creamers that they put in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not like that's a super bad thing. Like I think it tastes good. I really like there's like a hazelnut creamer that when I go back to the States, I really, really like.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to bring one of these up. So yeah, keep on talking.
You know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
But it's just like people really insist on putting like sugar stuff in everything. And like when I go back to the US, like I often like the first like week or two that I'm yes, Coffee Mate. This is exactly what I'm
Coffee Mate. So it's like a flavored, sweetened berry thing that you put in your coffee.
I'm going to make an exaggeration, but I don't think it's wrong. Is if you go into basically any house in America, you're going to find that.
Yeah, you're going to find one of these because most people can't take the bitterness.
Yeah.
And look at this. They have like a Snickers flavored one in the top left.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just put creamer. You got to have a freaking Snickers put in your goddamn coffee.
Thanks, Masa. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But it's like all of this just excessive sweetness.
Yeah.
That, like I was saying, I eventually adjust back to, but like for the first week or two when I go back to America, I get kind of sick after meals.
Yeah.
Because it's just like everything's sweet and I just like, I get stomach aches.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I've realized here that really has changed my mind is that a lot of Japanese people appreciate bitterness as just another taste, like salty, sweet, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the States, bitterness is something you should avoid. And it's funny because this really plays into coffee like we're talking about. So in America and in Australia, the cardinal sin of specialty coffee is for your coffee to taste bitter. There can't be any bitterness. There has to be some sweetness or some tartness in it, but no bitterness. If you did bitter, you messed it up. Yeah. Whereas in Japan, like bitterness is part of the taste that people enjoy in coffee. Yeah. And I've started to enjoy like that bitter bite.
I love black coffee.
Yeah.
You know, I got into it when I was in the military and kind of out of a need for necessity because it's just like, you know, it's like not even like, you know, outside of the barracks, but like even in the barracks, you have to do like a 24-hour duty.
Man, yeah.
And, you know, inside you're doing the duty inside this like office, right? And inside the office, usually they'll have like instant coffee, but there will be nothing else.
Yeah.
It's like the bare minimum, like here's your pot of coffee. It's cheap. It tastes like mud. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And I developed a taste for that. Now I love, like, it's kind of funny because people say like Starbucks coffee tastes bad, and it's fair, right? Yeah. It often tastes burnt, but I actually really like that burnt taste because it reminds me of that crappy military coffee that I used to have, and I love that bitterness.
Well, you know what's funny is actually Japan consumes like huge amounts of instant coffee compared to maybe in the States.
Yeah. Like a perfect example is like the like Boss coffee you get out of the vending machines, like a little really crap coffee.
The totally instant coffee. Yeah.
I love it. I drink it every day. It's so good.
Yeah.
I always get Boss coffee in the morning.
I get it. Yeah. So for me, it's tough because I really care about my coffee, right? I just got new coffee beans today.
Yeah.
But I always go to vending machine coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm always hoping that it's going to taste a little different. Like they'll say like, oh, this famous barista developed this recipe. No, it all tastes the same.
Yeah.
It all tastes the same. If you put sugar in it or cream in it, it'll taste one way. If you have it black, it'll taste one way. It's always like that instant coffee taste. And so I've stopped drinking that. But, no hate if you like it. It's great.
One complaint that I have, kind of moving off the coffee subject and kind of going back to the trend. I know we're kind of closing the episode, but recently I've had to deal with a lot of paperwork in the U.S.
Okay.
Setting like kind of doing some like financial stuff with my bank, setting up information about like my kids and stuff. Like I've kind of slept on this, and I feel bad about it, but I want to get my kids U.S. citizenship.
Yeah, right. Well, they technically are citizens. You just got to register.
You have to register them, right? And so it's like kind of going through this paperwork process and everything, and especially with my bank. One of the things that frustrates me is so I was dealing with Chase Bank, which is like the biggest bank in the U.S. It's like by far. And my account got locked.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking with the person on the phone, which, by the way, I have to call them at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, right. Because it's the hours of...
That's just the way the hours work. Yay! And when I was talking with them on the phone, they're just like, okay, cool. We can unlock your account super easy. We're just going to send you a text message. And I'm like, okay, so here's the problem with that is I have a Japanese phone. My phone's a Japanese number. It's not American. And they're just like, well, we should still be able to text you, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, if you guys send me a text message, you have to put in the country code first.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Put in the country code first, and I will get the text message.
Yeah.
They never put in the country code.
Yeah.
So of course the text message never came. I have to call multiple times. And it's like I have to confirm my address, my home address.
Mm-hmm.
And Japan's address system is very weird as an American.
Yeah.
But if you look at how the world does addresses, Japanese addresses make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like, okay, street address, city, prefecture.
Yeah.
Country, zip code.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Simple. Easily to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Everything breaks down in America.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, we're just going to make that the opposite.
Yeah.
And when you put in your stuff, it's just like nothing makes any sense.
Can I just tell you about that? So I've never really had issues with packages going through, but you know how in Japan it's like 99ku, 99cho, nicho me.
I don't put any of that because it just breaks people's brains.
Yeah, I know, but you have to do that if you want to like check that. But when you write it in America, you have to do it opposite. So it's like so let's say you live in Nichome Nanaban Sango, right?
Yeah.
You have to write it's like 7-3.
That's what I'm saying.
City, Nichome.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So the way Japan writes addresses is very, very similar to how the rest of the world writes addresses. Yeah. And from that context, Japan's address system makes sense.
Yeah, right.
But America, for some reason, is the exact opposite in everything.
Yeah, with
the address, it's so frustrating.
It's like even with the dates. So in Germany or in Europe, when you write the dates, it's day, month, year. And in Japan, it's year, month, day, because, I mean, that makes sense, large.
I actually think year, month, day makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but in America, they have it according to the spoken word. So March 5th, 2004, month, day, year. They just switch it,
Which is Here's the thing that pisses me off about that.
Yeah.
Because how do you say Independence Day?
July 4th
Do you really say July 4th?
or 4th of July.
Exactly. Exactly. Right? You say the 15th of January. You say like whatever. It's
For
obviously,
special days, yeah.
but obviously you would say January 15th. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a holiday or not.
Mhm.
But anyways, you would say month, day.
Yeah.
But it's not that uncommon that you would say day, month.
Yeah, right.
And right,
So technically, you could do day month too. You know.
it's this is so dumb because here's the other thing. Government.
Mhm.
How does government write the day? Because if
I-
you think it's month, day, no,
No.
they follow European style.
Really?
And it's just like, it's like the clock system, AM, PM. Why does that exist?
Well, I gotta tell you about the day thing. So writing everyone's birthday is always super confusing for me because
Yeah.
I don't know if I should do the American or the European style.
Dude,
But my day, the month and the day are the same, so I've never had that problem. So that's my cheat code in life.
that's funny.
Yeah, but the time too. Although I will have to tell you, in Japan, and
Yeah.
we're kind of over time, so we need to stop. But I don't understand how in Japan, like they're supposed to do a 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when it gets to 12 p.m. on the clocks on the TVs, it turns to 0 o'clock, which is
It's supposed to be 24.
it's supposed to it should be 12, but for some reason it becomes 0 again.
like goes 0. Yeah.
Like,
No,
someone explain that to us, please.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, we've talked about a lot of things. If you guys want to hear more of us complaining about the United States, more than happy to do that.
dude, this is probably our most popular.
Still a good country, I
I
promise.
love the U.S. Like, look, I get shit on all the time for like, oh, Austin's so anti-Japan. He's so American. Like, look, in some situations, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that drive me nuts.
Austin's just anti everything.
I am anti-everything. I just love being a rebel. Screw the establishment. Let's burn it all down.
Okay. I'll talk to you next. All right. See ya.